Hello gamers, Mage Hammer here for another edition of Tonight on Mage Hammer's Game Table. Welcome. Tonight I'm continuing my ongoing solo RPG campaign featuring the basic fantasy role-playing game 4th edition rule set. And the story is the quest for the Shattered Crown of Tranistal, the Argosian Wayfarers, Adventurers, Lalandra Rusher, Thardor Anvil Shield, Dark Shadow, Mysterious Elven Thief, and Halfling Magic User, Ketho Misty Hollow, are on a mission for a patron named Miranda Hall Heathcroft, a Tranistalian herself, who has come into possession of a map that shows where all of the 6 pieces of the Shattered Crown are hidden in the Swordlands, in addition to where the mighty scepter of ruling that the Tranistalian kings used to have as a scene of their rule are hidden in this wilderness area. This is kind of a frontier land between four technically different nations, and it is a major trade hub. And Argos here is in the middle, and the Argosian Wayfarers have retrieved all of the lost shards that were hidden up in the northern portion and have now found the 4th one, which was down here in the Stark Mounds on the edge of the Horak Wastes. Last we saw our heroes, they had a very difficult trip through the Stark Mounds and then a very difficult trip from Greyholt to Kellen's Cloak. And you go back and watch that episode to see exactly what transpired. But they did run into a very interesting piece of information that they are now on the radar of different groups who are trying to gain the little Shattered Crown for themselves. So they have to be extra vigilant, for there are other forces now at play. So our story opens, the characters have managed to spend a couple of nights in Kellen's Cloak, shifting their tavern or their inn each night, and then managed to avoid any kind of other unpleasantness. And they don't feel that they are being currently watched, but they're not 100% sure. As they are leaving Kellen's Cloak to head towards Argos to drop off the shard, they receive word that the acting troop of Quill Quiverstaff is now on their way into Kellen's Cloak, but they are not going to wait around for that. But they have several encounters with the acting troop of Quill Quiverstaff, and especially their main actor, James Mycroft. But they don't quite trust him, and so they are going to continue on their way and not engage with them. So the trip from Kellen's Cloak to Argos is a very easy one because it is well patrolled by both Kellenite rangers and clerics, as well as a Kellen's Cloak militia, and also the Argosian militia and their watchers and their agents as well, who patrol outside of the town. And along the trade road, the Argosian or the Kellenite church has set up way stations at about a day's travel each, where travelers can relax and rest and basically sleep in comfort and know that they will more than likely not be molested in the night by any kind of creatures wandering or otherwise. So the trip to Argos is a very uneventful one. It is getting to be late autumn in the Swordlands. The trees are changing and the air is chill. And so they continue on with Thardor singing in his great bass voice, becoming a very new comfort to them as they make their way back to Argos. So they come to Argos, they go to the Argosian Adventurers Guild, they go down into the Argosian Adventurers Guild vaults, they drop off their shard and check on their shards that they've left there. This particular area of the vault is reserved for them with the key, and they have the key to this, and the shards are still there, which they are very grateful for. So that means that the forces that are moving against them have not quite made their way and infiltrated the Argosian Adventurers Guild. So they lock it up and hope that the Argosian Adventurers Guild's wards and other locks and so forth are enough to keep their treasure safe. Because at the end, they are going to be able to turn all of the shards of the crown over to Miranda Hall Heathcroft and get their pay. She's paying each of the adventurers 500 gold coins for each shard and the mace, the scepter. So after a rest in Argos, they've decided they are going to head into They're going to travel down the river. They're going to commission a boat, travel down the river, and they're going to get off in right outside of Baron's Look, which is a mountainous outcropping right on the edge of the Trundlewrack Mountains down here in the southern portion of the. So apparently their map that Miranda Hall gave them tells them that the next shard piece is here and the other shard piece is there. So they make plans to travel down the river, get off there at a village, and then get over to Baron's Look, get into the delve, grab that shard, and then maybe take a respite in that small village, which is so small it doesn't even have a name. And then they're going to go into Treya's Wood and retrieve the other one before they return back to Argos to drop off those 2 shards. And then they're going to go try to puzzle out exactly where the scepter is hidden. Because unbeknownst to all of you, the scepter's location is not necessarily on the map. There's a small riddle that the party is going to have to think about and figure out to find out exactly where that scepter is located. They have been thinking about it. They've been bandying it about their brains, but they know that that's going to be their last stop. So they haven't really thought too deeply about it. But in the future, after they retrieve the other 2 shards, they're going to try to solve the riddle and then find out exactly where that scepter is hidden so that they can make their way to get it. So there's that little twist to the story. We're going to go to the adventure. So they leave Argos and they start down the river. They commission a boat, and the boat captain and his small crew, they are taking supplies down through the Ferris Hills, and they are on their way to Tinyvale. But before they turn off to Tinyvale, which is a known mining town, they are going to jump off at this fork in the river and make their way to Baron's Look. So they hire the boatman, and that would normally take probably about 10 to 11 to 12 days on foot. But on the river, they're going to take half that time. It's going to take about 6 days to get down the river, as that river flows quite quickly in that area, part of the Swordlands. So I'm going to roll for 6 aquatic encounters. And then we'll also obviously roll for night encounters. Now, since this is the wilds, but it's also the river, I'm going to say encounters are happening only on ones. And it looks like we have 1 encounter during the day and no encounters during the night as they make their way down the river. So let's see what that day encounter is. We'll make it about halfway through, 3 days in. And now we are on river or... Where's my river? River or riverside? Excellent. Do I want to do that? Could move it up and do that. Yeah, let's... No, I rolled what I rolled. We're going to stick with it. All right, so they're traveling on the 3rd day. And this boat is pretty decent sized. It's a cargo boat mostly. The captain has several guards that help guard against various interlopers and other creatures that can tend to ply these waters. And so they are on the boat. This is going to be the boat itself. Okay, we're going to, this is the pilot's area. The party is kind of hanging out here. There's a lower level of the boat, but they're all up on top. Thardor's puking over the side because, of course, he gets water sick. Can't really say seasick since they're on a river. So he's puking over the edge, and they are making their way down the river. I guess it's going this direction. Try to keep this accurate. So the pilot's is right there, and we'll say that, you know, this area here is it's like a little tent area here, and the party's outside of the tent area, and they're all kind of hanging out. Cargo's down below, And there's a pilot here. And that pilot is not the captain. The captain has 2 other guards. We'll make this the pilot. He's driving. The captain and 2 other guards are there as well. This is the captain. His name's Buck. And he is, you know, taking care of things. And then he has 2 guards that he uses. One with a crossbow and one with a axe and shield. And the one with the crossbow's in the back with the party. And the one with the shield is out here hanging out. And the pilot is steering. So they're traveling down. And then as they come to a slower part of the river, it starts to slow down a bit. But the current is still moving. It's just not as heavy here. They encounter I just dropped a miniature. So they're just minding their own business when out of the water and onto their boat jumps some giant frogs that are really hungry, and there's 4 of them. So these 2 jump here, and yes, fan favorite miniatures, giant frogs. They jump into the back, and we're going to see if anybody was surprised. And they are. They actually are surprised. So, free attacks. So one's going to attack the crossbow-wielding guard who was looking at Lalandra's figure and not paying attention to what he was supposed to be paying attention to. And the other one is jumping apparently onto Ketho. And this one's attacking the captain. This one's attacking the guard. So we'll attack the crossbowman. That is a hit. Giant frogs. He didn't roll a natural 20, so the guy is not going to get swallowed up. Ketho's so small that when he attacks him, if he rolls a 19 or 20, he's going to swallow him. EFG, froggy, giant frog. Okay, so does 1d4 plus 1 bite since he didn't grab him with his tongue. And that does 4 damage to that guy. So he is injured. All right. And then the attack on Ketho. It is a 13 plus 2, 15. That's enough to hit Ketho, but not swallow Ketho. So thank goodness for that. Ketho is going to take, 5 points of damage. Yikes. Careful, you slithery beast. And then the captain is attacked. He is... 13. He doesn't wear really hard armor, so he is hit as well for 5 damage as well. Man, and then this toad or this frog attacks the other guardian, and he hits him as well and does 4 damage. So a very vicious attack in the first round. Now we're going to roll initiative. I'm going to have the captain and his men go on Lalandra's initiative. So we have both Ketho and Darkshadow going on 8s, Lalandra on 4, Thardor and the giant frogs on 1. Lalandra and the crew on 4. The pilot is just going to continue, riding the boat. Oh man, missed an opportunity. Well, I'm gonna set it up right now because it's worth it. All right, so we have my boat, which I really love my boat, and we got my initiative, but I also have river pieces. I missed that opportunity. All right. So put the boat on the river pieces. It's the little things in life, folks. All right. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my boat intact onto the... it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. Oh, I ruined everything. Okay. I don't care. It's worth it. I want to use the terrain I bought. All right. You guys can forgive me that. All right. Here we go. All right. So the back here, got a frog here, got a tent here, got the pilots here, captain and his frog is here, his frog, Lalandra, this guy, frog, and okay, see, that wasn't too bad. All right, yes, so now we're on the river, and they're on the boat. Okay, so they're flowing down the river, and they're under attack by giant frogs. Initiative is about to happen. Ketho Ketho doesn't know exactly. He is going to I guess he's going to attack with a magic missile, or should he just... He's going to cast Mirror Image. He can't take another attack. So he casts Mirror Image, and there are, of course, one extra image of himself, so that's one free attack that will automatically hit the replica. Oh, 1d4 images plus 1 image per 3 caster levels. Oh, so 2 more. So 2 images. And it will automatically hit the 2 images. So we'll track those images with this die. So there's 2 images. And then that was his action. And now we move on to Dark Shadow. She stabs her frog. It's a flanking attack. I'm not going to give her any kind of bonus. The frog is pretty much aware that she is there. She's going to stab with her short sword. And she hits armor class. Not enough, I think. Yeah, she only gets a +3 to that. That's a 10. She missed. All right, so she stabs and is not able to get through its blubbery skin. All right, then Lalandra and the crew. Lalandra attacks the one that attacked the crewman. And she stabs with her magical longsword. 13 is just enough to hit. She does get +6 to hit, and she does 9 damage to the beast. And it yelps in pain as the blade bites into her skin. Crossbow guy drops crossbow and whips around with his dagger and attacks. And he hits as well, but he does a d4 damage. And he only does 1 damage, so not enough to take that down. Just a bit of a scratch, so to speak. The captain, he gets a pretty good attack in. And he, with his pluses, he hits, and he does 7 points of damage with his sword. And that is not enough to take the creature out, but still is a decent blow. All right. And then the guard over there moves up on his giant frog that attacked him and attacks as well. And he misses. He can't get through its blubbery skin. It's kind of sliming around. The pilot continues steering the boat down the river. And then Thardor and the toads attack. So we'll do Thardor's attack first. Does 14, which is enough to hit, and does 3 points of damage with Warhammer. So last episode, I realized that the Warhammer only does 1d6 damage in Basic Fantasy, and the Mace does 1d8. So I've just switched those damages for my game. The Mace does 1d6, and the Warhammer does 1d8, because I've gone through this entire series having his Warhammer do a d8. And Warhammer is one of my favorite weapons of all time, so I'm going to increase its damage. I'm just going to switch it, though. I'm going to switch it with the Mace or Warhammer, and I think that's a pretty good fix to my issue, but also staying pretty much within the realm of the rules. Anyway, so he hits, and he only does 3 damage to his creature. All right. And now the toads. Or the frogs. So frog on the guy with the crossbow misses. A frog on Ketho again. Hits but doesn't hit, so it takes out one of his images. Hits the image. Attack on the captain. Ooh, crits on the captain. Uh-oh. That's 5 plus a d4. 9 damage on the captain. Uh-oh. That's not great. He already took some damage, so he's looking worse for wear. Attack on his guard. And that's a hit as well. That's another d4 plus 1. That's 2 damage on the guard, so he's not too bad off. All right, so initiative. All right, Thardor on a 3. Ketho on a 7. Dark Shadow on a 6. Lalandra and the crew on a 4. And the frogs on a 2. So Ketho now hits the one that with a magic missile. That's 4 damage. Then Dark Shadow stabs again with her short sword, hoping for a blow this time, and completely misses. She just cannot... Maybe she has a phobia of frogs she's not telling anybody about. She's just afraid to hit it. I don't know. Lalandra attacks with her enchanted short sword or long sword. And man, she hits, and she does 7 damage to the creature, which drops it. It is now finished, and then she moves on. She is going to move up the side of the boat here to go up, help up front for her next turn. All right. So that brings us now to the crew members. This guy does bring his crossbow up from where it's hanging from his belt. He's going to shoot at the one that is fighting Ketho because he's confident that if he misses, it won't hit Ketho. But he's taking a risk here. He definitely is taking a risk. And say that's a 13. He just hits. He does... crossbows do D8 in my campaigns. He does 8 damage to that one. Yikes! All right, man. That took it in the eye. It is hurting really bad. And then the captain attacks. The captain is really upset that that he got hit so hard. And he misses. The pain is overwhelming. And his guard attacks and crits the other frog. He has an axe that's at 6 plus a D4 damage. So 6 damage total to the one that he is fighting. All right. And that brings us to the Thardor. Thardor swings his warhammer and hits and does another 8 damage and takes his out. So that frog is now done. And now we move on to the frogs. So the attack on the captain. This could be it for the captain. It's a miss. Attack on his guard. Miss. Okay, that was it for the frogs that are left. We go to initiative. Lalandra and the crew go on 2. Ketho on 6. Dark Shadow on 4. Thardor on 1. And the giant frogs on 3. So Ketho goes through the tent. He's basically inside the tent here, out the other side. Fires off a magic missile at the one that is fighting the captain. And he does 5 damage to that one. So that's pretty good. And then next up is Dark Shadow. She goes into the tent as well. She runs through the tent out the other side. And there's not a lot of room there. So you know what? She's going to be inside the tent and fire an arrow at the one fighting the captain, hoping that she can hit it. Ooh, she's got to be careful. All right, so she hits armor class enough, and she does 3 damage to the creature, and she's going to use a luck die to finish it off. She uses a luck die to finish it off. Okay, and then the crew. Did I have the crew in Lalandra? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. So Lalandra, she can't really get through. And so she's like, move aside, man. So she pushes him out of the way and stabs at the frog. She manhandles the man. And she hits and does 5 damage. And then he's like, my lady, this one's mine. And then he goes and attacks. And he misses. A little anticlimactic. The captain comes around the pilot thing and attacks. And hits and only does 1 damage. Not enough to finish the creature. Throwing himself into danger, though he should not. Crossbow guy is going to make sure there's no others and stay on guard back here. Thardor is going to run through the tent. Come around just enough. I think he has just enough movement to cast Cure Light Wounds on the captain. And he cures the captain for 3. Which is enough to at least maybe keep him alive for another attack. Hopefully. And that is initiative. And we'll see what happens with this frog. So Ketho on 7. Lalandra and the crew on 4. Froggy on 3 again. Thardor on 1. And Dark Shadow on 5. So Ketho unleashes an arcane bolt. And misses. It flies awry. Dark Shadow is not going to fire an arrow. It's just too crowded, too much of a chance of hitting her allies. And then Lalandra is going to attack the beast and misses. The guard attacks and misses, and the captain attacks, and he misses. And then the frog attacks Lalandra and misses. And then Thardor casts another Cure Light Wounds on the captain. Why not? And that's 4 more hit points. Okay, so he's up to that. Okay. Initiative. Ooh, it's on 5, but Thardor's on 5 as well. Kethel's on like an 8. He's out of control. 6 for Dark Shadow, 1 for Lalandra and the crew. He's going to attempt to fire off another Arcane Bolt. Misses. And Dark Shadow is not going to do anything. Thardor is going to attack just as the creature attacks. So we'll see how that goes. He's attacking Lalandra. Misses Lalandra. He misses the beast. And then the frog jumps into the water and swims away. It's had enough. Okay, so excitement on the river. All right, so they heal up, batten down the hatches for the night, set a guard, and Kethos studies his spellbook. Thardor prays to Cathor, and they get their slots back, and the night passes uneventfully. They have fish for dinner. Go figure. All right, so after a semi-uneventful remaining journey down the river, Lalandra kind of strikes up a little bit of a friendship with the crossbow-wielding guard. They kind of hit it off a little bit. His name is Hendrix. So a little bit of romance maybe brewing there. We'll see. Maybe we'll never see each other again. Who knows? And then they come to the fork in the river after their 6 days of travel. And they bid farewell. And the captain's like, I wish I could pay you for what you've done, but you're paying me. No worries. Thank you for the trip. We really appreciate it. And Hendrix, maybe we'll meet again. Yes, maybe so, lady. And so they get off into the wilderness, bidding goodbye to the captain and his crew, and the boat continues on down the river. Will she ever see Hendrix again? Who knows? Will they be attacked by giant frogs on their return trip? Hard to say. It's slow going up the river for return trips, by the way. They have to paddle a lot because of the current. So, and they get pulled by animals and so forth. So now they are traveling outside of the plains between here and Baron's Look. So probably it's relatively hilly, but it's not quite hilly enough to be considered hills. And they are making their way through this terrain on their way to the next location. All right. So it is I'm going to say 2 days travel to the Delve. And we're going to roll for night and day encounters. Day encounters first. 2 days of travel. No encounters. Nighttime. No encounters. Whoa. No, I think a 2 because this is wilderness. Oh, wait. I forgot about the village. We'll say it's 2 days journey to the village. And they have an encounter the night before they enter the village. All right, let's see who is on duty. Let's first of all see if it happens before they all bed down. No, it happens while they're bedded down. So let's see who is going to be. Nope, it's going to be on Dark Shadow's watch. Dark Shadow is first. They're sleeping in their tents. She's sleeping in her tent. And we'll see what it is. And we'll see if she's surprised. Okay. So it's a 4 in, we're going to call this not really grassland. I'm going to say the hills. I'm going to say this is outside the hills. And so 4 outside the hills. Ooh. Everybody's favorite. think I'm going to have 2 of these creatures this time. Yeah. They have encountered the like before. So at least they know how to fight it. Let's see if it's one or the other. On a 1, it's something else. Nope, okay. So I'm going to say there's 2 of them. All right, see how well they do. All right, let's see if Dark Shadow is surprised. Let's see. Not surprised. Psst, awaken, my friends. The lion's like, that's the loudest I've ever heard you talk. What, huh? Boom! Cat-like creatures that have tentacles coming out of their backs rush the party. It's initiative. And Thardor's like, Deceivers! Arrgh. And they are engaged in battle. Lilandra on a 6. Thardor on a 7. Dark Shadow on a 4. The Deceivers on a 1. And 3 for Thardor. Now, as you know, for Deceivers, those of you that have been watching the channel and the last encounter with them, the first attack on Deceivers automatically misses. Every other attack after that is a -2 as they get a sense of where the creatures are. So Ketho is going to cast Mirror Image. He's not messing around. His 2nd level spell. And he is going to get for 5 more of him. So I'm going to track that using this 12-sided here. So he has 5 images besides himself, and each image will get attacked. So that's his attack, and he kind of backs away since it wasn't close enough to him. Kind of backs into the tent. Next up is Lilandra. This one's right next to her. She swings and misses automatically. And then Dark Shadow does the same, moves up with a short sword and attacks and misses automatically. And then Thardor attacks the one that Dark Shadow's attacking and misses automatically. And now every attack besides the one that Ketho will make eventually, it will be at -2. And the Deceiver's attack. This Deceiver full-on attacks Lilandra. It's got 3 types of bites. 2 for the tentacle bite, snaky bite things off the back of their backs will be the opaque dice, and the transparent dice will be the bite. All right, oof, crit from the bite and a hit from one of the tentacles. They get +6 to hit. So with the tentacles, they do a D6, and the panther bite does a D8. So we'll do the D6 first. So she takes 4 damage from that. She yelps in pain. That really hurts. She gets a crit, which is automatically 8 plus a D4. So that's 10 damage. So that's, man, really took a chunk out of her in that attack. All right, so that's her attack. The other beast, I'm going to roll randomly. It's going to center all of its attacks on one of those 2, either Dark Shadow or Thardor. 1, 2, 3 is Dark Shadow. 4, 5, 6 is Thardor. It's going to be Thardor. So bites over at the dwarf, and 3 attacks, same kind of thing. So 16 hits with the bite, 15 just misses, I believe. Thardor's armor class is 16. So the bite hits for a D8 and does 3 points of damage. You're going to regret that, cat. All right. So that brings us now to the initiative. Okay, Thardor with an 8, man. Woo. Lilandra with a 4. Thardor with a 4. Dark Shadow with a 4 and a Deceiver with a 4. Wow, that's a lot of people moving at the same time. All right, so Ketho is going to unleash an arcane bolt and miss with it automatically. He does get it off too. He misses with it, counted that as an attack. So that's his first action. Lilandra attacks with her magical sword, and she hits and does max damage, 11 damage to the creature. They have this many hit points. Ooh, I didn't really roll their hit points. Just rolled up. That's pretty good. Okay, we're just going to get that. That is a lot of hit points. All right, so yeah, okay, so she hits for 11 damage. And now we go to this is all at the same time, of course. Thardor is going to attack. Hits for 6 damage on his. All right. And then Dark Shadow is going to attack as well with her short sword. -2. Don't forget the -2. Yes, and no good. She hits, does 5 damage. And don't forget the -2. Okay, and then the Deceivers attack. Attack on Lalandra. Oof. So that hits. Both the snake bites hit, and the bite misses. So she takes 7 more points of damage. She is hurting really bad. That bite crit was horrific. Plus, man, it's nasty. And the attack on Thardor. 16 hits and 19 hits. So the bite and one of the tentacles hits. So he takes 10 damage. Ouch. All right. Initiative. They go on 4. Thardor, or Dark Shadow on 4. Thardor on 4. That's crazy. Lalandra on 2 and Keto on 6. Keto unleashes yet another magic missile. That's automatically going to hit 3 damage. Uses a slot for that. Attacking one on Lalandra. All right, and then they attack. The Deceivers attack. Lalandra's not going to be able to take much more. So 15 just misses. So if all 3 attacks, she manages to evade all 3 attacks, and then attacks on Thardor. Both snakes hit again. So he takes 11 damage. Yikes. He's gonna have to use luck dice to survive this. That's 7 off of there. That's 4 damage. He's down to 2. How much longer can his luck hold? We shall see. He spends those luck dice to keep him alive. All right, so then that brings us to Dark Shadow and Thardor. So they're going to attack. Dark Shadow, Thardor, even a -2 hits. Dark Shadow misses. He only does 2 damage. That's not great. And that brings us to... He's gonna have to cast Cure Light Wounds, I think. It doesn't matter. Lalandra attacks her Deceiver at -2. And she gets +6, that's +4, 17 hits, and she does 11 more damage to hers. And you know what? She's going to use some luck dice to try to take it down. That's enough to slay it. So she slays her Deceiver and moves towards the other one. Because even though it's a different Deceiver, I don't know. I guess she'll automatically miss her first attack on the second Deceiver. Yeah, let's do it that way. That's kind of fun. All right, initiative. 5 for Ketho. 5 for the Beast. 6 for Dark Shadow. 2 for Lalandra. 1 for Thardor. All right. So, Dark Shadow kind of maneuvers behind the creature and attacks at +2, which will eliminate its +2 advantage. And... so she's at her normal +3. Misses. All right, and then they are tough to hit. Next up is Ketho. He unleashes a magic missile. Automatically hits 7 damage. Nice. That's another slot. And then the Beast. Let's roll to see who it attacks between the 2 of them. 1, 2, 3, Lalandra. 4, 5, 6, Thardor. 6 Thardor, 1 Thardor's blood. Dwarven blood. All 3 attacks. One of the tentacles hits, and the bite hits. So, D6, D8. So that's 9 damage. He has to use luck dice to reduce. That is 6 damage. Still not enough. Oh my gosh, 5. That's 1 damage. So he is down to 1 hit point. Lalandra attacks. Her first attack misses. And then Thardor is going to call on the power of his god and cast Cure Light Wounds on himself in the midst of this battle. Drop the spell slot. Sorry if my bald head made it on the camera. All right. Sometimes it's very shiny. So he's casting a Cure Light Wounds spell on himself. Oh my gosh. And it's 2. So he's at 3 hit points now. All right. Ketho on 7, Dark Shadow on 6, the creature on 5, Lalandra on 2, and Thardor on 1 again. So Ketho unleashes, yet another magic missile. 3 damage to it. And then Dark Shadow stabs with the extra +2, which just eliminates her bonus. Or no, eliminates her penalty. She's a +3 to this attack. She rolls an 11 and misses. And then the Deceiver, see who he attacks this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And once again, going for that Thardor. He wants Thardor's blood. If he could say fee, fi, fo, fum, I want the blood of dwarves, he would. Oh my gosh. Bite and tentacle hit. Oh my gosh, maximum damage. Woo! That's 14 damage. He is down. There's nothing you can do about that. He is down. Down, down, down. All right. Lalandra stabs at this creature. Cannot bring it down. Cannot bring it down. They're so hard to hit. Now it's Thardor's turn, and he has to make a death save or die. He needs a 5 or higher. Oh my gosh. And he's out of luck dice. Oh my gosh. 4. Thardor's dead again. Thardor dies again. Oh my gosh. Dead. Initiative. 5 for Ketho, 5 for Dark Shadow, 4 for Lalandra, 5 for the Beast. They all attack at the same time. So Ketho unleashes yet another magic missile. He is not messing around. 6 damage. They're not 100% sure if he's dead yet or not. Then also Dark Shadow attacks. +3 to this. Hits, does 3 damage. And then the Deceiver gets an attack. It attacks Lalandra. And hits Lalandra with its bite for a D8. 3 damage. She's going to have to use luck dice to reduce that damage. And reduces by 1, so she is at 1 hit point. And Lalandra attacks. And misses. Oh my gosh. So crazy. All right, so... Three for the Beast, 2 for Lalandra, 4 for Ketho, 4 for Dark Shadow. And, whew. All right, so Dark Shadow attacks. And hits, does 3 damage. Still not enough. She could luck die it, but she's not going to. Ketho uses a spell slot to take a magic missile at it and takes it down. That finishes it. The Deceivers have been defeated. However, one of their number has fallen. Thardor, Anvil Shield, dead again. Dead again. Okay, so, oh, my friend, my dear friend, this quest has taken its toll upon you, has it not? Well, friends, we need to get to this village and rest and see what we can see what we can do. We'll have to continue on without him for now. Oh, such a sad day. Poor fellow. Oh, Thardor, I'm going to miss your singing. Well, this is quite a pickle, isn't it? Yes, it is. But like I said, I don't think we have any choice but to forge on. Making our way back up the river takes double the time to get back up the river, and that's if we're supposed to meet the boat on its return trip. So, oh Well, let's get to this village, find some warm beds, have a meal in us, while we try to decide what to do with our fallen friend. Maybe they'll have a shrine or a temple where you can put him. Yes, let's check this out. Let's go. So they, Lalandra, and they put together like a travois, I think is how it's pronounced, a way to carry him. And Lalandra drags him behind her as they make their way to the village based on what the map from Miranda Hall Heathcroft. They make their way into the village, and it is a dwarven village with some gnomes and some halflings. Oh, one of our fallen. You've lost a friend. Yes. Do you happen to have a shrine or a temple where we can keep him? Yes. Who was the god that he worshipped most? Oh, Cathor, of course. Yeah, patron god of the dwarves. Oh, good. Yes, we have a small temple, actually, a church, if you will, to Cathor. We shall take you to his priest, and we shall ministrate to him there. Priest, you say? Oh, yes. Is he of exceptional power? He is very blessed by Cathor, yes. He came here many years ago because there were many orc raids on our small town, and he was the powerful priest in the eyes of Cathor and was able to fight them off and defeat them. Oh, do you feel that he might be able to bring our friend back with the power of Cathor? Oh, quite possibly, yes. Cathor has too few dwarves in the world as it is, and if he can be brought back, Cathor will do it. Oh, excellent. Oh, thank you. Could you please take us to him immediately? Yes, we can. All right, so rules for raising the dead. This is the second one for Thardor. Raise dead, I believe it is. Yes. So it is definitely intact. Support life. Yeah, he's definitely not been dead for more than 4 days. 3 days. Thardor's third level. So yes, he's only been dead a day and a half. And he loses 1 level permanently, so he's going to go down to 2nd level. And he's down to 2nd level. So they take him to the church to Cathor, and the priest. They strip him of his gear and clothing, and the priest does his ritual over Thardor and brings him back to life. He's so weak, he's down to 1. He has 3 hit points when he comes back, and he has lost a level. So let's reflect that. So now he is back to 2nd level. And Raise Dead says to the minimum number of experience points required for the previous level. So he is at 2nd level. So that is 1,500 experience points. So he is back down to 1,500 experience points. I have my experience point totals here. Oh, poor Thardor. What a dark day. Oh. Yikes. Yes. Okay. So he's back to 1,500 experience points. He loses a spell slot. Give Ketho his spell slots back. Woof. So he's down to 4 spell slots, as is Ketho with his 3 2nd level spell slots as well. Okay, anyway, so he is back. Oh, thank Cathor and you, good priest, for bringing me back. I have a mission that needs to be completed, and no silly cat should be able to take me down. Well, it wasn't quite a cat. It was a cat with snakes on its back. It doesn't matter. Deceivers are now my sworn enemies. And so Thardor is weak as a puppy, but at least his anger is intact. So he is back at second level, and they are in good hands here in this village. And that's where I'm going to end this episode. Quite a bit happened in that time. So once again, gamers, thank you for coming along on this journey with me. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. I'm truly loving this. This is very exciting. It's always a highlight of my week when I'm making one of these videos and then sharing it out with all of you. So until next time, keep on rolling dice and playing games. Next episode, they will head into the Delve, just not far from this village, underneath Baron's Look, and we'll see what they find. So until next time, keep on rolling dice and playing games. Thanks for watching. Mage Hammer out.